this thing recording? Oh, I guess it is. I guess it is recording. So, yes. Yes, you're not seeing a mirage, you're not seeing anything. I'm just want to let everybody know that I'm your host, Mike Mo, here for another vlog. This is probably going to be uploaded, since this is technically, where's my phone at? Since this is technically the 29th, Wednesday, I'm going to be uploading this in the morning. Wow, it's currently 1:06 in the morning. Sorry, I usually don't do these very often, but I'm not feeling very tired. I'm feeling very good right now, actually, because life's kind of going good right now. But this is not the reason why I wanted to talk to you guys. I just felt like talking. Hello everybody, it's been a while. When I upload this, it's probably going to be like 8 o'clock, so you guys can get more out of this. So I'm going to upload it early, I noticed. So I just want to thank you guys for actually, for 14 of you or 15 or 16 of you responding to the Pokemon video. I know that the Pokemon videos are popular. So two things before I get into the little Indycar debate, because the IR28 chassis just got introduced and all the powertrain stuff just got introduced today, and kind of my reaction to it, but I'll get to that. I'll get to that. But so I was doing some counting over the last since the start of the series, start of the vlog slash daily vlog series, and I found out that we have a little bit of a tie between views for video games and views for vlogs, and the numbers were actually, since I started doing this back in November-ish. Was it November? I think it was November. And I think it was in November or December. I can't remember. I think it's when I first started Well, not when I first started, but it was in. Yeah, I know it was in. I know it was in November, late November, early December. I know that. But since I've been doing this for about almost a year. Well, it started in 24. No, actually, I started in 25. Excuse me. Started in 25, December of 25. Well, I think December or November of 25. I can't remember when I first did the last radar transmission, because I have the most horrible memory because of my upload schedule, so screwy, right? Screwy, right? Because you know me, Mr. Inconsistency, I'm never any good with this sort of thing. I don't really keep a whole schedule, and because views matter to me, but I'm also human. I just want to say I'm doing good. Everything's great. Work has been phenomenal. So, oh yes, by update, the Lost Johto Stories has been 19 views. So let me throttle back a little bit. Eight months ago was when? November 6th. November 6th was when from November 6th, so November will be a year, so, and we're not even close to November, because we're in the last couple of days of July. August is still on our doorstep, so we still have a lot of summer to go. So And scenes really don't mean anything to me because I don't have school anymore, so I don't have to deal with that. No school vlogs coming up. Don't worry. Travel vlogs, yes, maybe. Travel vlogs, yes. Going to Boston. I don't know. We're gonna be doing the 5K, so I'm gonna chronicle that in October. Double in October, and then so I found out that between between November 6th and until now, we're basically November, December, January, February, March, April. April's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's about 6 months. May, June, July. So we're about 10 months. So we're about 10 months in to this whole thing, or actually, it was 8 months ago. So it's about 8 months ago. So in the last 8 months, so we've actually, yeah. So it's been about 8-9 months. So it's almost been almost more than half a year since we started this thing. The views for the views for the videos since I've started the series in the last year have amounted to like 380 something. Gameplay videos have topped 414. I'm not spewing the wrong numbers. You guys got the number of people who view the videos, the games is higher, and maybe higher because of the playlists that I do. Because remember, we also get views from playlists, which is why we get unexpected numbers. So people who click onto my playlist and watch the videos actually do this, and I'm pretty sure people do it. I don't do that because I would do that because it's easier to grab views that way, but then again, I don't care about views, so, and I should really start doing that with the daily log starting next month, and then I will obviously keep doing it if I can remember to pinch myself to make these. But yeah, don't worry, we'll still get over 200 something of these videos out. Don't worry, we still have a lot of time left. Don't worry, we still have a lot of time left. We still have another like 100, and we still have a couple, like 160 some odd days or 150 odd days left. Don't worry, we'll get there. So I wanted to talk to you guys. So just to let you know, I'm going to be uploading the videos, but I'm also going to be doing a lot of gameplay videos. So if you guys see a lot more Gran Turismo or Forza or Yu-Gi-Oh or something like that, or stuff like that, I might start another project. Maybe I've been wanting to do Chrono Trigger for a while. Because I have a DS Drastic, so I might be able to do that then. I'm not going to do Chrono Cross because Chrono Cross is kind of weird. Chrono Trigger I know because I played it a number of times. So, and I'm going to do it on my phone and not on my other phone, what I'm recording from right now, because I have DS Drastic still on it, and thank God they haven't. Nintendo hasn't figured it out. Please do not delete DS Drastic. Please do not take it off. It's a good emulator. So I might do that. We'll see. But I'm definitely going to do Pokemon, or I might alternate between Chrono Trigger and Pokemon, whichever one you guys want to see. But I'm going to definitely do Chrono Trigger because I wanted to do it. I've actually played the game a couple of times, so I might want to do it. I've cleared the game like 9 times. Got a couple of different. Well, I've cleared the game 86 times, but you get multiple endings obviously with this, so I've probably cleared the game about 4 or 5 times, but with different things, Chrono being dead and all that other stuff. But Um, that's a series that might take me a long time, and I actually know how to do it. So, and the game's actually quite fun. So, quite fun. So I'm gonna do that. So I will indulge you guys on that. It's actually pretty. It's actually pretty fun. So, and since I do it on the emulator with the phone, you're gonna get dual screen on side by side. So, just like you do in the Pokemon games. So, so you're gonna get that set up. I don't have a fancy DS emulator setup thing on my computer or anything that I can do that, and I won't, and I'm not gonna do it on my 3DS because I don't even have a Chrono Trigger on the DS cartridge. I wish I'd known that Chrono Trigger was a good game. But then again, back in 2008, I really didn't know that was a thing. So, and I was in school, so I really didn't want to beseech myself with something like that. Plus, I wasn't working at the time, so I couldn't have bought it anyway. So, once I want to part with like a brand new one for like $80 or a brand new one for $264, $300 plus dollars. Unless you want to do that, but that's erroneously expensive, and that's financially irresponsible, irresponsible, not unresponsible, irresponsible. So, how many minutes do I have? I have you guys for 11 minutes. So yeah, look out for that. I might be doing vlogs. I will probably put this one out about 7 o'clock so you guys can watch it. Gameplay videos for not Chrono Trigger, but Pokemon will probably be out this weekend. No guarantees. Chrono Trigger, we'll see. Because I might want to do 2 series, because the story for Chrono Trigger will probably take as long as Pokemon does. I know what I'm doing with Pokemon. I have no idea. That I'm going to do whatever. I do have cheats for Chrono Trigger on Drastic, but I'm not gonna use them because I'm not a cheater. She has the full story. I don't have that sort of thing. If I did that on my own and I did all my stuff, then I'd be breaking the game, and it wouldn't be cool. So you guys would not like that. So be doing that. So I'm not gonna get the Rainbow when I'm not supposed to get it, or Dream Seeker or something like that. If you guys have played the game, so if you have played the DS game, you guys will know. So yeah, so I'm done talking about videos, vlogs, and stuff like that. I'm going to talk about the new Indycar. So the new Indycar setup of the brand new Indycar. The Indycar news / Indycar website just dropped, as of this morning, the IR28 chassis for what's supposed to be for the car for the Indy Racing League for 2028, and this chassis has been talked about for a while now. Originally, I think this chassis was supposed to debut. I think this chassis was supposed to debut when the hybrid systems debuted. Not last year, but the year before. Not last year, but I think it was last year. Was it last year? Yeah, it was. It was last year. So when they were testing the engines, when they're testing new engines in the hybrid systems a couple of years ago, a lot of people were thinking that in 25-26, the IR26, we might have a more powerful hybrid system and a bigger engine. So for those of you who don't know, an Indy car is a spec car Nothing like the cars that I used to grow up with in the Indy Racing League or kart or Champ Car or whatever you guys want to call it. For those of you who know it best, you guys will know it as in the 70s, you guys will know it as the USAC Trail or whatever, the USAC Trail or the USAC Trail or the USAC Champ Car Championship or whatever they want to call it, because they used to call it Champ Car way back in like the early 1900s. Champ Car's not a new thing. Champ Car was just a thing that people took up because it was champion honor racing teams and all that other good jazz, all that other noise or jazz, as Frank Sinatra would call it, because he couldn't swear on television. There's censorship. He always said jazz if he didn't want to say certain words. So that's what that function was for. So the proposed chassis is going to be done by Dallara again, because they don't want to get another chassis maker, even though they should get somebody in there to kind of split the costs and maybe give people more options. But Dallara seems to be the people that they want to go with. I don't think there's going to be another chassis maker. So for those of you who don't know, the IR28 will be an evolution of the IR18. The IR18 is also an evolution of the DW12, which came out in 2012, obviously after Dan Weldon, after his horrific accident back in Las Vegas in 2011. I remember watching that race. I remember being dumbfounded that that was a really heart-wrenching moment and stuff like that. So in his memory, because he tested that chassis, it was called the Dan Weldon 12 because it was a chassis that was that they hoped was going to run for about 12 years or something like that. Didn't end up going that way because of the pandemic and stuff like that. So now we got to punch it out to 2028. So the car is going to be reprofiled differently. Everything's different. Barge boards, front wings, rear wings, stuff like that. It looks pretty futuristic. There's a couple things that will stay the same. It will have wheels, obviously because it's a car. The rollover hoop for protection. They also have the aero screen, obviously for the driver protection, because of Jules Bianchi back during the Grand Prix back during the accident that killed him when he hit the safety, not the safety car, but when he hit the course vehicle. He went under it and hit his head and got a piece of skull fracture. Rest in peace, Jules Bianchi, Frenchman, fellow Frenchman. Well, he's not a fellow Frenchman, French Canadian, but he's French, So that's going to be there. The things that's going to be different are the barge boards, the front wing, the rear wing, and some of the intake looks, some of the geometry in the back of the rear wheels. Now, obviously, I think the thing that they're showing is a concept of it. There's obviously going to be changes because they're obviously going to show. They'll obviously unveil the chassis in its final form, probably at Indy. They'll probably start testing maybe the beginning of this year and end of this year or start of early next year, because they're going to want to put a lot of miles on it. Mechanically, the car is going to be the same. It's going to have a 6-speed sequential gearbox by X-Track Hewland. I forget which one. I think it's going to be X-Track. The engine is going to be 2 liters bigger. It's going to be a 2.4 liter V6. So we're already starting to crawl back into the displacement from the kart days, because if you guys are old enough, you guys will know that the old turbocharged chart cars, even the USAC cars, were stuck at 2.6, 2.1, or 2.65 liters, or 2.61 if you guys were with you older folks with the Offenhausers and stuff like that, or the Ford engines and stuff like that, or AJ Foyt with his engines, and stuff like that. And then so we're getting close to that. So it's a 2.4 liter Honda. The only thing that's not going to be spec or not going to be the same is the engine. Honda is going to be producing a 2.4 liter. Chevrolet is going to be producing a 2.4 liter. They're obviously going to have a hybrid system. The main engine is rumored to put out around 700. Well, the max output, they're not saying anything for ovals yet, but the max output for the total car, the maximum it can do without hybrid and push to pass and all those other goodies, is 760 horsepower. That's about they're putting out around between 735 to 750 now. 750 now, although some people claim it's around 700 because they've had to tame it they've had to do it because of the hybrid engine, make sure it lasts and stuff like that. So it's around 700 something. Some people say 720, 730, 740, 735 or whatever. Some people say between 700 and 735. But the car is going to make marginally a little bit more power, and from what they're saying, it's going to break records. So apparently it's going to have full access to 760 horsepower the whole time. So it will have 760 horsepower plus. Well, they haven't done any rules, so I'm pretty sure they're going to peg it back for the ovals and stuff like that, reduce the boost pressure because of certain things. They've had to do that at a couple tracks this year because the cars were too fast. So the cars are going to have tops 760 horsepower, give or take. With the current push to pass and the hybrid system rumored was supposed to do around 60 horsepower, and then you'd have another 100, and then you'd have another 50 with the push to pass. So you get around 110 horsepower. So the cars were making, so if we did the math on that, the cars are making about 880 horsepower or 870 horsepower, 70 horsepower, which is a lot because that's even more than the kart era. So, but that depends on how powerful the hybrid system will get, and I'm expecting that the second spec system that they're going to be obviously putting on with the 2.4, because originally these hybrid systems were designated to work with the engine and all the trimmings from the 2.4. Unfortunately, they had to delay the 2.4 to 2026, and then they did 27, and now they're doing it for 28. So they've raised the displacement, they've raised the power, and for what they're talking, they're probably going to have 760 horsepower at every track. My guess is the hybrid system is probably going to be powerful enough to where they won't need the Fast Friday thing, although they might. We'll see what they do. They might tame it 100 horsepower, then turn the boost up and do whatever to it. It depends on what the hybrid system's going to be like. But we won't know until any records get broken, because they're saying, oh, we're going to destroy so many track records. We're going to destroy so many track records, including Indianapolis and all this other stuff. We'll see. The thing that's really interesting, though, is the way the chassis looks. So there's two. So if you guys have not been living under a rock, there's two chassis that and I kind of see the tires being slightly smaller. So this is what the road course is going to look like. So this is what the road course one is going to look like. So it looks a little Formula One with the little things. So these, if you guys couldn't see these were on Formula One cars back in like 2022. So this is a 28 car with aerodynamic adjustments from 2022. Jackie Stewart, I was telling somebody this because I was showing him a coworker Wally these photos, and he watches IndyCar too. I was showing him these photos, and I told him that, you know, Jackie Stewart, I told him famously, Jackie Stewart, when he was testing a Penske car back in like the 80s, he told the viewers that Formula One technology or Grand Prix racing technology is ahead of IndyCar by about 5 to 6 years, maybe 6 to 8 years. I'm gonna say between 28 and 22, about 6 years. So 6 to 8 years, Sir Jackie's on to something. So this is Formula One. That's obviously Formula One in the back. You guys see the boat. You guys see the wing. It's got the little twirl and stuff like that. Like they're copying Formula One. There's obviously the roll over the screen. The engine cowling looks a little higher because the engine's a little bit bigger. Also, one thing I'm noticing, I didn't notice it beforehand. Didn't notice it beforehand, but the current Indy cars don't have it. But if you look right here, there's going to be a little bit of a structure right here. If you guys see right there, there's something behind the rear wheel. This is an open wheel series, folks. There's not supposed to be any enclosure out there, and there's not supposed to be any enclosure there. But yeah, there's not supposed to be any enclosure there. Plus, you can see, you know, everything's wide. They have different spec tires and stuff like that, and they have number plates on the side. But so keep this design in mind, and this is going to be the oval design. So you're going to see a lot different. So the oval design, to me, looks a little bit better, and I think the cars will be a little bit more stable, but I might be wrong. So it's actually pretty funny. So what they did, I think somebody photoshopped this a little bit, so you guys will notice front wing, no winglets, back wing, it's like a little smile. It's like the Joker. It's like that. It's like Joker smile. It's like when Joker opens up his mouth and you got that. No, except he has the black lip gloss. But yeah, the Joker looking oh no, I got a better one. The whale shark, the whale shark mouth wig. Probably won't catch on, but anyway. But yeah, so apparently, this is supposed to cut drag while providing downforce. It definitely will help with downforce. It will definitely cut drag. And the wing looks like it is going to be in the wind again. So what I think is happening is I think Indycar wants to keep this car stable because they understand that. Because understand this, the car is going to have a potentially, if they do the hybrid system right. These hybrid systems were originally supposed to be putting out, I think it was like 100 horsepower or something like that. I think it was like 100 horsepower or something like that. Something like that. So at Indianapolis, so at road courses, well, we'll have to see what it is. I can't speculate. The final specs haven't come out yet because they haven't really done it. And remember, it's all subject to change because the reliability of the hybrid systems, obviously. But if they were to keep 760 plus horsepower, the Honda, if they were able to keep the cars around 760 horsepower and have the hybrid boost jump it up to about, and they were able to turn it up during qualifying to about 800 horsepower, they would have 850 horsepower. And with the way how these things are, not 28 but 29, maybe 30, they're trying to break Ari Leindyke's record because it stood for so long. Ari Leindyke's record has been matched since 1996. Over 30 years, folks. And by the time this record is busted, if it ever will be busted, Ari has already said to Robin Miller, and I hope it does break the record, because even Ari Leindyke himself has said, "This was a break it," you know, the Dutchman, the Dutchman said very famously, I said, "I wish to break it, and I wish to be done, and I could be done with it." Ari was like, "Yeah, I'm done with it." Ari was done with it. Ari was like, Ari figured they would have broken it already with the new cars, but obviously with the limitations and with the way how things are, they kind of figured, yeah, we kind of made a bit of a unstable brute, so hopefully this one's a little bit better, and hopefully it's not going to be as twitch happy. And the other thing is it's going to be 100 pounds lighter than the other one. So an old Indy car was around with the hybrid system, and the car was probably 1,700 to 1,800 pounds. Car's probably going to get back to what it was, and then maybe in the next year they'll up another 50 pounds off, and the car will get faster. So, but yeah, it's a huge thing. I think it looks actually pretty radical. It looks pretty radical. It looks amazing. It looks a little copy. It's a little bit of a Formula One copycat, but IndyCar really doesn't give a hoot about that because it's America. So, and it is a very, very behind Grand Prix racing. But then again, how many times are you gonna see? How cool is it that how many times are you gonna see a Formula One car do 230 every single lap, every nonstop at a track like Indianapolis? You're never gonna see it ever. So, and I think race day is going to be even better because they have more power. So I think they're going to go back to, I think they've got I think if they can get the aerodynamic stability good, they can get it back to, they can get it back to the levels that they had back in 94, 95 before the 94, 95 before the split. So, or actually not before the split, but before Cart died back in the early 2000s. But back when Honda with the Penske's used to run, Penske and Buick and Mercedes used to run over, Ford used to run over 1,000 horsepower. I don't think we're going to get to that level because I don't think they're going to want to go that fast because you know, safety. But I think 760 horsepower is good without really doing too much. They'll be stupid, obviously, because they know they have the hybrid system. And they know they have the push to pass and stuff like that. So it potentially on road courses, the car can have over 870 horsepower, 870 horsepower, which is a lot. And I think it's going to be difficult for these cars to get with it. But I think 28 is going to be a learning year, and then 29, 30, they'll definitely have track records beaten. Maybe they'll be able to gun down the track record in Indianapolis at over 240 miles an hour. So Ari Landak won't have to keep rolling his eyes every year, like he has done for the past 30 years. So yeah, I think it's a cool car. We'll just have to see the execution of the cars and how they do. I definitely think the DW12, the IR18 have been cool, and I think this was a better call to do the car like this. Maybe. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Remember, it's a prototype. It looks cool, but we'll have to see how it does. It looks cool, but it looks cool in the stats look cool, but we'll have to see it, wait how it performs, see how it does. And we got to make sure it's not going to blow a gasket every 5 seconds on the hybrid system. Doesn't shock itself to death. Doesn't shock itself to death like an electric eel biting itself, and stuff like that. So we'll have to wait and see what that's like. We won't know till the first laps, really. So of the 2028 season, and then we'll see how it progresses. But obviously, it's about a year and, well, not 2.5 years, but that's about a year and, well, next spring it'll be about a year away. So we got maybe about a year and a quarter left to go. So year and a quarter left to go before we see these cars. So let's just enjoy the IR18. The IR18 still has some time to shine. But it's limited. Its penultimate season is going to be its penultimate season. Now that it's been available, this is the penultimate season before for the final season next year in 27. So I don't think that they're going to change much technologically because they know the next cars, so they're not really going to do too many updates. They're going to save it, and I bet you they're already on to the phone to Arb, like, hey, we're going to finally break a record after 32 years, and he's probably going to be ecstatic because. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I think the car's cool. It looks outlandish. It looks a little Blake Savage / Dr. Who-ish, but you know, that's Indycar for you. They're kind of out there, and Roger Penske, you know, is obviously got his hand in this because he obviously owns the Speedway, so he wants to see the track record broken. So maybe by one of his guys, but who knows? Maybe Ford will come along in 28. Maybe Ford will come along and maybe preserve the record for Ford. So we'll see what happens. So but yeah, I'll see you guys later, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to upload this in the morning at about 6, but maybe about 6:30, 7:30-ish. 6:30, between 6:30 and 7:30-ish. I have to remember, I'll have to wake myself up and do all this, but I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll keep the videos coming, and we'll try to get just because Project 176, it doesn't mean I'm gonna record all 176 days that we have left, and it doesn't mean I'm gonna have 176 videos for the entire year and stuff like that. So, so I could have more by the time this ends. So, obviously with vlogs, yes, but you guys will have to wait and see, like the Indycar thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna upload this later this morning, probably in another, probably 6:30, probably in around, maybe around from between 6 and 7:30, 6:30 and 7:30. So maybe in that hour block. Who knows, if I get lazy, maybe I'll upload it at 8, but we'll see. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Peace out. Good night.